Hello, welcome to
Don't kill the cat!
This is episode number 7. We're going to look through curious topics, starting with the quote of the episode. Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. It says it's by Benjamin Franklin, but it sounds like a common saying.
Don't kill the cat!
We're looking at the etymology of niche. As far as I know, the origins are French. It says here, it's a recess in a wall, as for holding a statue or urn, a cranny, hollow, or crevice, as in rock, a situation or activity specially suited to a person's interests, abilities, or nature. We're looking at the Etym Online website, which has very useful resources. 1610s. Shallow recess in a wall, from French niche, recess for a dog, kennel, 14th century, perhaps from Italian nicchia, niche, nook, which is said to be from nicchio, seashell, itself said by Klein, Barnhart, etc., to be probably from Latin mitulus, muscle. Interesting. But the change of M to N is not explained. Century Dictionary compares napkin, from Latin mappa. Watkins suggests that the word is from an Old French noun derived from nichier, to nestle, nest, build a nest, via Gallo-Roman nidicare, from Latin nidus, nest. See nidus. But that too has difficulties. The figurative sense is recorded by 1725. Biological use dates from 1927, also from 1610s. So in my experience, niche is something very specific. Like, for example, a specific group of melomaniacs that like a very specific style of music, say.
Don't kill the cat!
Okay, one of the first entries is flak jacket. Flak jacket, or flak vest, is a form of body armor. A flak jacket is designed to provide protection from case fragments, frag, from high explosive weaponry such as anti-aircraft artillery. Flak is a German contraction for Fliegerabwehrkanone, aircraft defense gun. Grenade fragments, some types of pellets used in shotguns, and other lower velocity projectiles. It is not designed to protect against bullets fired from most small arms, such as rifles or handguns. However, flak jackets are able to sustain certain gunshots, depending on the angle at which the shot was fired, an oblique angle, for example, the caliber of the bullet, the speed of the projectile, and the range from which the shot was fired. This has got me thinking, maybe if you're extra careful, you'd have a bulletproof vest and then a flak jacket on top of it. Soldier wearing flak jacket, 1971 during the Vietnam War. Two components of an obsolete British military flak vest. On the left, nylon vest. On the right, 12 layers of ballistic nylon that provide actual protection. The term flak jacket is often colloquially applied to newer body armor featuring protection against small arms projectiles, but the original usage predated the existence of modern and more resistant bulletproof vests, and the two are not interchangeable in performance. Alright, we got some history here. $5 to $7. Materials. The first flak jackets consisted of manganese steel pellets sewn into a waistcoat made of cotton canvas. With later revisions of the vest, the waistcoat was made of ballistic nylon, a material engineered by the DuPont company. Therefore, flak jackets functioned as an evolved form of plate armor, or brigandine. The first flak jacket weighed about 10 kilos. During the Korean and Vietnam Wars, the flak jacket was changed and the manganese steel plates were replaced by other materials. The U.S. Army's vests, body armor, fragmentation protective vest M69, sounds like something out of San Andreas, weighed under 8 pounds and were made of 12 layers of ballistic nylon sealed in a vinyl plastic bag to repel water, and later revisions added polyethylene stiffeners to alleviate bunching of the ballistic nylon. The exterior of the vest was made of standard nylon fabric. Fiberglass, Hauberk, chainmail. Latest topics. Rain gauge.
Don't kill the cat!
also known as odometer, pluviometer, umbrometer, and hyetometer, is an instrument used by meteorologists and hydrologists to gather and measure the amount of liquid precipitation over a predefined area over a period of time. It is used to determine the depth of precipitation, usually in millimeters, that occurs over a unit area and measure rainfall amount. So it has been used for quite a while. Record rainfall. People living in India began to record rainfall 400 BC. Ancient Greeks as well, rainfall records 500 BC. US standard rain gauge, developed at the start of the 20th century, consists of a 200 millimeter funnel emptying into a graduated cylinder, which fits inside a larger container, 64.1 millimeters. So it collects rain over a wider area, but then the measurement of the height of how many millimeters rainfall consists of is thinner. That does not really make sense. And this is probably the recording device. Oh, that's a different kind, but it's still the same concept. Larger container, 200 millimeters in diameter, and it's 510 millimeters tall. The rainwater overflows the graduated inner cylinder, then the larger outer container will catch it. When measurements are taken, then the height of the water in the small graduated cylinder is measured, and the excess overflow in the large container is carefully poured into another graduated cylinder and measured to give the total rainfall. A cone meter is sometimes used to prevent leakage that can result in alteration of the data. In locations using the metric system, the cylinder is usually marked in millimeters and will measure up to 250 millimeters of rainfall. Each horizontal line on the cylinder is 0.5 millimeters. In areas using imperial units, each horizontal line represents 0.01 inches. Genius, or 0.25 millimeters. We have to take a look at what it is actually. Yeah, that doesn't make it any clearer. Funnel. It gathers water over a larger area, as it said, 20 millimeters. And then the height of how much rain there was is measured based on a thinner cylinder. So I guess this modernization was a more recent development. And we got a random topic here. Conveyor belt.
Don't kill the cat. Ha!
A conveyor belt is the carrying medium of a belt conveyor system, often shortened to belt conveyor. A belt conveyor system is one of the many types of conveyor systems. It consists of two or more pulleys, sometimes referred to as drums, with a closed loop of carrying medium. This is kind of like the concept of not the escalator, but the moving walking thing, whatever it's called, that rotates about them. One or both of the pulleys are powered, moving the belt and the material on the belt forward. The powered pulley is called the drive pulley, while the unpowered pulley is called the idler pulley. There are two main industrial classes of belt conveyors: those in general material handling, such as those moving boxes along inside a factory, and bulk material handling, such as those used to transport large volumes of resources and agricultural materials such as grain, salt, coal, ore, sand, overburden, and more. These conveyor structures contain belts for moving bulk sulfur, it's not even grain, sulfur from rail cars to storage piles, and from the piles to ships. Point of contact between a power transmission belt and its pulley. A conveyor belt uses a white belt and pulleys and is supported by rollers or a flat pin along its path. Packing depot. Baggage conveyor belt, probably at an airport. It's very thrilling. It says here it's primitive conveyor belts have been in use since the 19th century. But we know that the history of the wheel is ancient, and I'm sure that similar contraptions have been used throughout history in order to help carry materials or load through distances.
Conveyor belts are an essential tool in the material handling sector. They are strips of continuous movement that are used to transport different materials from one place to another. It is mainly used to transport large quantities of material in a short time. Cleated belt conveyor. Inclined belt conveyor. Flat belt conveyor. Trough belt conveyor. Roller bed belt conveyor. Portable belt conveyor. Retractable belt conveyor. Curved belt conveyor. Steel belt conveyor. Magnetic belt conveyor. Narrow belt conveyor. Acid and alkali resistant belt conveyor. Flame retardant belt conveyor.
So that's it for this episode. Goodbye.